This is Roppongi Rocks, and we are in Stockholm, Sweden, with Pontus Egberg of King Diamond.
Hello.
How are you?
Very good, very good. Yeah, spring. We're in Stockholm, Sweden, and the spring is coming. It's a very nice time of year here.
Excellent. You've been in the band now for nearly 11 years. How did it come about that you actually joined the band?
Well, it was in 2014 when the band was going out on the European festival tour, and they had gathered for rehearsals in Denmark, and for some reason that I'm not really aware of any details there, but Hal, who was the bass player at the time, did not join in for rehearsals. So I got a sort of a panic phone call from my good friend Pontus Norgren, who was at the time the front of house sound engineer for King Diamond, and asked if we have these shows, can you do them? And at the time I was playing with the Poodles, so we had some shows that summer, but fortunately, things it fit into my schedule. So yeah, sure, I can do those gigs. But what are we playing? Could you send me some music? Because of course, I'd heard King Diamond before, but I've never been a big fan or anything, so I didn't really know the music. So it was very hectic, actually. I spent 2 days at a hotel room. We were up playing in the north part of Sweden, and during the daytime I sat and listened to, try to figure out all the songs, and then 2 days later I flew down to Denmark and started rehearsing, and then, I think we rehearsed for 3 days, and then a week later it was the first show in Gröna Lund in Stockholm, which is a big amusement park. So it was also a hometown show, which was kind of nerve-wracking at the time, but it went well apparently, because I'm still in the band.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you are part of a long line of Swedes in this supposedly Danish band, which is nowadays very multinational, of course. Yeah. But there's been, you, Andy LaRocque from the start, there was Mickey D in the beginning, there was Snowy Shaw, Charlotte D'Angelo was in there, you had Floyd Constantin for a short while, and there's a bunch of other people, Pete Black was in there. There's so many Swedes. Is that a strategy, or what's going on there?
I don't know. I'm guessing it's, since Andy's been in the band from the start, and he's still there, and his contacts in the Swedish music community, I suppose, is the reason why so many other Swedes have come into the band.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And you've got a new album coming. Supposedly, it's been in the works for a while. You've released a few singles, and you've played a few songs live. But now I understand it's about to be done, and it's supposedly part of a trilogy.
Yeah.
So perhaps you can tell us a bit about it.
Well, it's been a very long and slow process, unfortunately. But we're you don't wanna rush greatness, do you? King and Andy's written music for a few songs, and I know that King has a few more songs. So I think the basic part of the album is there. It just needs to be finalized, and we all love to tour and meet our fans, but that sort of it gets a wedge in between finishing the production of the song and finishing the writing of the songs and touring. So it's been a long process, and I really hope that we, after we're doing now a European tour in the summer, doing festivals and a bunch of headline shows as well. And right now the plan is to, as soon as that is done in August, to really start focusing on finishing and recording do the actual recording of the album.
And are you involved with the actual songwriting, or is it mainly Andy and King doing that?
No, it's I think all the way from the start. It's King of course writes all the lyrics and the melodies, but Andy writes quite a lot of music. But King also writes, I think, like 50% of the music. So I'm not involved in the actual songwriting at all.
Fair enough. But you do have an interesting addition in the last sort of year or so. Myrkur, the Danish artist, has been playing keyboards and singing, both on at least your latest single and also live. She was on tour with you in North America.
True. She joined us for the North American tour, and we recorded the single Spider Lily, which was released in the fall, and during the rehearsal period when we were in Dallas, Texas, rehearsing, she had the chance to actually put down some keyboards and additional vocals to that song, which turned out really, really good. So that was a really nice addition to the song. She was meant to join us this summer as well, but unfortunately I've heard that, which is good for her, of course, she's she has a lot of her own bookings as Myrkur, so she will not be joining us in the summer.
Fair enough. Will she feature on some of the other songs on the album?
I don't know yet, but that's very, very possible.
Yeah. And this year is the 40th anniversary of the band.
Yeah.
And obviously you already mentioned you're touring Europe this summer. Are there any other plans to mark the anniversary?
Not really. You actually, when you said it just a few minutes ago, that was the first I've heard of that. I think we may have to. I may have to bring that up and see if we can do something special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously you stepped into King Diamond when he has already been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And you've done similar things in other bands like Treat and Wolf, where you've stepped into relatively established bands. Yeah. And as a musician, is that very different from when you're part of starting something? You're stepping in and you have to sort of insert your own personality, but not too much perhaps, depending on the band.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I would say from a musical point of view, as a musician, there's not really that much difference. I think I try to somehow put a little bit of my own personality into, even if it's a song originally played by Timmy Hansen or whoever. I try to put some of my personal touch into that, as well as if it's an original recording, I of course maybe give a little bit more thoughts to how to do the bass part and stuff like that. But it's not really that much of a difference musically, I would say. But the difference, of course, is when you try to get out there and get your music out to the audience and get gigs and all that. It's a whole lot easier when it's an established act that's been around for some time. Today, with all the music and all the bands going around, it's kind of tough to break through and with a new act.
True. I mean, obviously you're also part of Wolf still.
Yeah.
And you are part with Martin Eriksson, E-Type. You have Dampf, which is something new that you've created. You've been part from the beginning. And is there more coming up with Wolf or Dampf or any other things apart from King?
Yes, Wolf definitely. We've started sort of the production cycle of a new album. We were in the studio a few weeks and put down the basic, drum tracks to 6 new songs, and are working on that right now. And we The plan is to continue, and after the summer probably record the rest of the album, and possibly a release early or first half of next year, I would guess.
Yeah. And Dampf, anything happening there?
Not really at the moment. Martin is, although I know there's a very special place in his heart for this project, he's very busy as well with his e-typing.
Yes.
So
Different kind of music.
Yeah.
But very successful at it.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you very much for talking to Roppongi Rocks. And
thank you.
Good luck with the King Diamond anniversary and the tour.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Nice. Thanks for having me.